Welcome back to Cho Really Reviews. I'm Cho, and there's some brand new peak Hey Arnold content
making the rounds on Instagram, DeviantArt, and Webtoons by a highly skilled artist named Eden Fries, who has drawn, scripted, and created her own comic that is centered around Helga and Arnold's relationship. If you love everything Hey Arnold, then you know that Helga and Arnold never really got a relationship, even though we know that they are meant for each other. And Arnold and Helga's love story never really got a true conclusion. It was mainly an unrequited love, one-sided by Helga to Arnold, that was quickly wrapped up in 2017 with the Hey Arnold Jungle movie. And all of the true fans of the show knows that that's not enough. And Eden Fries just happens to be one of those fans that also has the skill and talent and storytelling ability to bring this love story to life. So we're doing an entire breakdown of chapter 1 of this Hey Arnold 8th grade fanfic that is really surrounded around Helga. I know this isn't my comic, but I would love if the name of this comic was Whatever You Say, Helga. But anyway, we start off in their new classroom in 8th grade. We're seeing a lot of familiar faces right off the bat, which I absolutely love. You can see everyone has a new design because they've grown
and
up.
they're all wearing completely different clothes.
You can see Phoebe and Gerald hitting it off in the back like always, and I like that it's set in our current era, so there are cell phones, more specifically smartphones. It looks like Rhonda is saying for someone to follow her, because of course she would be an influencer. Nadine's hair is down instead of this sticking out way that it used to be, and she looks very hippie per usual, probably reading a book about butterflies or some type of insect. Curly's in the back, and it looks like he's fawning over a picture of Rhonda. And as you can see, Arnold's just chilling right in front of Helga, and they're not really talking. Helga gets Arnold's attention with a paper airplane, tells him to read it, and we don't get to see what's on the paper. All we get to see is him smirk and go back to being happy while Helga drops the book on her face like she's bored out of her mind. And Rhonda peeps this interaction and is very confused on what could possibly be going on between Helga and Arnold. She tells her good friend Nadine about this and wants to follow Arnold and Helga after school just to see what they're up to or what's going on between them. Nadine doesn't really care about this because all she cares about is seeing the Monarch exhibit after school. But of course, Rhonda uses her wealth and connections to tell Nadine that her dad may know someone that could get Nadine some butterflies to take home, and if she would be with Rhonda and follow her to essentially stalk Arnold and Helga to see what's going on between them, she may get her the hookup. So now Nadine is going to go with Rhonda to follow Arnold after school. He balls up the piece of paper that had the note on it and casually throws it into the trash can. Here you can see that Arnold's clothes are very different than the original design. He has a gray shirt that's loose over his classic red plaid shirt, and instead of wearing his little blue hat on his head, he wears it around his neck on a necklace. Probably because his hat that was already too small for him is even way smaller for him because he's older. But it was the hat his parents gave him, and so he wears it everywhere anyway. We can also see Nadine's hippie clothes, Rhonda's rich girl outfit, which is essentially just a preppy off the shoulder red top and black skirt, which is very on brand for both of them as characters. What else is on brand is that Rhonda won't go into the trash to get the paper, and Nadine has to. The last page of the chapter is wrapped up by seeing what the piece of paper said, and it's a note that Helga wrote to Arnold that says, "Destroy after reading, behind the school, after class, be there or else." Nadine thinks that this could just be bullying, which it does in fact look like, and that pretty much wraps up the chapter. Just some more key things that I noticed about the comic is how beautiful the color palette is. It's a very light and airy kind of pastel color palette. It still has that vintage Hey Arnold vibe. I love how the clothes kind of feel like it is the early 2000s instead of 2020, with the classic short sleeve shirt over a long sleeve shirt or wearing a beanie. This classroom definitely looks like a group of 90s kids in the 2000s growing up. There's still a black chalkboard on the wall, and just like the classic 2000 classrooms, there's a bookshelf full of books and there's posters on the wall. We don't get that much insight on why Helga has asked Arnold to come meet him behind the school, but we'll figure out why in the next chapter, which is coming right after this one. What do you think about this comic? Isn't it beautiful? And what other Easter eggs did you see that I missed? Comment those down below and stay tuned for the next chapter, Behind the School, where we meet Arnold and Helga meeting behind the school for whatever reason, and we'll go into Helga's design and the dynamic between our lovable football headed boy and our iconic one-eyebrowed girl.